Medical personnel are supposed to be the calmest people on earth.
It's the other way around.
Hello there, welcome to your favorite channel, Nobu TV Live. My name is Mary Emmanuel, and today we'll be talking on negligence by medical personnel here in Nigeria. And to drive on the topic, I have with me Mr. Valentine Agobo. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, first of all, what constitutes medical negligence in hospitals in Nigeria?
What you say, what constitutes? It's a common thing. We've all had our own share of the experience. All right, so it's basically not just the thing that's reserved to the medical doctors. All right, but primarily it starts from the other personnel, like the nurses. In other cases, maybe midwives. Some cases, the matrons. Some cases, even the security personnel at the entrance ER, emergency rooms, they all have their own quota in constituting a menace to the profession or to that environment that's meant to actually render urgent help, save lives. All right, so they sometimes become very, very slothful when carrying out their primary duties of saving lives, making it look like some of these things are being blown out of proportion. Like some could say, just relax, you take time, just calm down, doctor's on his way, or this and that and that. So there's sometimes, most times, very, very callous and careless about life-threatening issues. So they all come together to pose this menacing narrative about what their primary service was meant to be, which is life-saving, and it's the other way around at the end of the day.
There seem to be so many cases that can be associated to this negligence in our hospitals today. Now, is there any right authority that incidents like this should be reported to?
I believe we'll get maybe a policeman or a lawyer who would give us some interpretation of the Constitution to further emphasize on approaches to take when things like this occur. But in civilized society, like let's say in the West, Europe, US, Australia, other parts of the world, when things like this happen, your license could be revoked. The license could be revoked. There are other penalties involved. In other words, there are thorough investigations into loss of lives. They're not just swept under the carpet. As a matter of fact, in some cases, further investigations are done where autopsies are being carried out to know the cause of death. Then they even calculate they're as detailed as calculating the time of admitting the patient and the time treatment commenced to the time the patient died. By the time they do all those plus and minuses, then they can now say, yes, even though the doctors tried, the nurses tried, they could still be penalized because they have a working structure. They have a working environment. Unlike here in Nigeria, anything goes. People just get away with anything. They don't care the consequences because nobody's being held accountable. I can't recall anyone that's been held accountable for the loss of lives in his or her hospital. They just think, oh, he's dead. He's dead. No, let me give you some examples. For instance, about 13 years ago, a friend of mine was giving wife delivered in the hospital, and while the wife put to bed, we all went visiting into the hospital, went to the delivery ward, and while we're there, what they do in the hospital, that they deliver a baby, then the nurses are dressing up the child while the mom is brought out, while we're all there celebrating with my friend's wife. And all of a sudden, one of the doctors came out and was walking out. Then I was one who asked the question. I said, "Oh, doctor, how's our baby?" The lady, my friend, I said, "Oh yes, doctor, where's my baby?" He said, "Oh, your baby, he's dead now."
Wow,
that was his response. You know, and we all said, "Whose baby is dead?" The kind of aggression we turned. He looked at her and said, "Oh, you're not gonna give birth to a boy, right?" She said, "Yes." He said, "Oh, sorry, it's that woman's son that is dead. The one that gave birth to a girl. She's dead." She was so much. As a matter of fact, we're not promoting violence on this channel, but as at that time, I was so angry that I wanted to actually confront the doctor physically. They had to hold me back because I felt you are too trained. You're meant to be better trained enough to not say or part away with such words carelessly. As a matter of fact, that doctor is still working in that hospital till tomorrow. He's still a senior consultant in that same hospital till date. Till date.
So moving forward, sir, on cases like this, what do you think should be put in place? Or rather, before we talk about things that should be put in place, should we blame the medical personnel for this, or we should blame the government? Because most times when you hear them talk, they say they're not well taken care of, this, that, this,
they're not well paid and all that.
Yes.
Everyone has to partake in the blame. Firstly, it's not just only the medical personnel, because I think some few days ago, a medical doctor died in is it Lut or Lasut or something in Lagos, where he died as a result of working too long. He worked for 72 hours straight without having taken a break.
Yeah.
And he just slumped and died. That was a doctor who was actually giving his all to make sure that he went the extra mile to save lives. Most doctors won't do that. It's not healthy to do that, by the way.
Yes.
All right, that's what cost him his life, right? But most doctors won't go that mile. They just feel it's all about not getting paid well, and then they become consultants for 15 hospitals. They're consulting here. This hospital is calling them. They're going over there to consult. And before you know, as a matter of fact, early this year, my brother-in-law had an accident, and while in this very specialist hospital here in Delta State, we had to wait. It was head incursion, right? Very serious one. He had the accident on the head bridge. We had to wait on 2 different occasions where they said the consultant was coming all the way from Federal Medical Center to come and attend to someone that needed urgent help. They just applied first aid, 2 things. I said, okay, he's coming. By the time we went to the hospital desk to meet the nurses there. Nurses, how far now? They're there, just laughing. So, okay, calm down now. It's only he's coming. The doctor's coming to see. He's coming to see other people now. Just calm down. He's not only after your brother that is talking there and gisting.
Wow.
That was the response they gave to me.
Wow.
And a couple of days back, a church member of mine lost her only son. As a result of carelessness in the hospital. What was the scenario? Now the boy came in having headache, and now they said, okay, they did some tests. Okay, we need blood. Someone came and donated blood, 1 pint of blood, and they said, okay, we need 2. Now the mom, who is a widow, said, don't worry, somebody has donated blood. Be putting that one. Somebody else is coming to donate on that pint of blood, because this very guy cannot donate 2 pints at a go. It's not healthy for him. Now they said, don't worry, and before we start doing the blood transfusion, let us get oxygen for the boy. And now they said, okay, go and pay for the oxygen. The man brought out a member of the same church brought out money and said, this is the cost of the oxygen. He said, yes, okay, this is the money I want to pay for it. He said, no, go to the front desk and make the payment there and follow the due process and all that. So he hurriedly went there and wanted to make the payment. He said, okay, don't worry, make the payment here. We'll call the person that's bringing the oxygen. He made the payment quite all right. Then we went to sit down. Now this boy was getting weaker and weaker. The nurses at that desk were gisting.
But is it proper to follow due process when we have emergency issues?
Emergency doesn't really work anymore in this current time, because emergency is relative. The doctor told me that same day we're having this crisis. The doctor said, mentioned something. He said, bros, please go and relax. I was telling someone, please go and relax. Your case is not even emergency enough.
Wow.
A medical doctor. Do you understand? So I've seen these cases too often that I get irritated every time I go to the hospital disgusts me. Just going thinking about the fact that I'm going to walk into the hospital just gets on my nerves, that I try as much as possible not to have any dealings with the hospital, so I don't lose my temper. Now this new very man walked back to the front desk to talk to these nurses, and they're like, okay, calm down, person is bringing the oxygen. The hospital that's meant to be a professional specialist hospital didn't have oxygen. Now they were waiting for oxygen to come. Before the oxygen got there, the boy had died.
I think we have more.
A 17-year-old boy just died like that from headache.
That's quite sad. I think we have more of lackadaisical medical personnel in Nigeria than the ones that are supposed to be. I mean, medical personnel are supposed to be the calmest people on earth.
It's the other way around.
Moving forward.
Most of them are very arrogant. They make it look like they are offering you life, so you should be grateful. In fact, you should be more grateful to them than God, who gave them the ability for that gift.
Okay, so looking at this matter now, the government has a part to play. The medical personnel themselves have a part to play.
Yes.
And we also have a part to play. Now, moving forward, what do you think should be put in place for this not to reoccur?
The only thing that can be put in place, there's nothing we can do about it. because whether we like it or not, we still have to go to the hospital in one way, for one thing or the other. Most people can. I'm not sure anyone can just conveniently just stay from the hospital. Now, it's not about the citizens now, and also it's not just about the personnel in the hospital, but it's about government policies that has to be properly put in place to check and balance the excesses of these medical personnel, where they have to be properly trained before they are assimilated into the medical profession. They have to be properly trained and held responsible, take oaths where any negligence or a careless cause of death will be further investigated, not just swept under the carpet as one of those losses, further investigated and penalized, where your certificate will be withdrawn, you will be stripped of being a medical doctor for life, or you will be locked up for 13 years, 5 years, just the way we have these policies against gay and lesbians, we have policies against murder and all those things. We should have policies against negligence in our medical profession by doctors. They claim that they're not being paid well. So, but not being paid well doesn't mean you're saying
now. Are you saying that it is not yet a crime in Nigeria?
I don't think it's unless a lawyer will come and correct me. I don't think it's a crime yet in Nigeria, because a lot of people die in different hospitals every day and nothing is being done about it.
Okay, on this particular topic, I think we are going to have like a continuation where we'll bring in a medical personnel and also a lawyer at time. I know you have learned one or two today from this episode. Do stick with us on Noble TV Live. Don't forget to drop your comment, share, like, and continuously follow us. My name is Mary Emmanuel, and that's all we can take for today. Thank you very much, sir, for coming.
Thank you.
Bye for now.